Yo, what is up everybody, how we all doing? Today we're going to be looking at how to do the fireball on the Eisendrache the proper way. I know that this is a bow that a lot of people struggle with, even when following other tutorials, so I hope this tutorial helps you guys out a lot, but without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have the Wrath of the Ancients bow, which you can get by feeding all the 3 dragons around the map with 8 zombies. Once you've done that and you've picked up the Wrath of the Ancients bow, you're going to head to the top of the clock tower just outside the church, and on the wall you will see a fire symbol just there, as you can see. Once you shoot that with your bow, the arrow will pop out just like that and you can go ahead and pick it up. Once you've picked that up, you're going to want to head straight down to the teleporter to take you to the rocket test, or you can take the Wonder Sphere, whichever way you want to go. Once you make your way down to the rocket test area, you're going to want to head just outside the double doors that close after the rocket test goes off, and look up and to your right, as you can see on screen here, and you will see a rock with a glowing symbol on it. This symbol will be glowing bright orange just after the rocket test goes off, and you've got about 5 seconds to run out and shoot that symbol with your Wrath of the Ancients bow. You're going to want to make sure you go a little bit further out as well, as you saw that I did in the video. You don't want to stand too close to the doors, otherwise you won't actually be able to hit the symbol. You want to be able to hit it from the angle that you can see just here. As you can see here, the rocket test is going off, so you just want to stay behind the doors, and you're going to want to be next to the doors, defending off the zombies, ready to go out as soon as the doors open up again, as you have a very limited amount of time to go out and hit the symbol on the rock. Once the doors open after the rocket test is finished, you're going to go to the spot that I showed earlier in the video and shoot the symbol with your Wrath of the Ancients bow, and it should shoot a giant fireball up towards the death ray on the main part of the map. So once you've made your way back to the main part of the map, you're going to see 3 circles just like this around the map. First one is just there, as you saw it, just outside the spawn. The second one is up by the death ray, just in front of where you activate the trap, which I will show you on screen just here. And the final one is next to the clock tower, just outside where we picked up the arrow, as you can see just here. What we need to do is we need to shoot these circles while we are flying through the air using the Wonder Spheres. There are multiple ways that we can do this. The most common way is the way that I'm about to show you just now, where you charge up a bow, buy one of the Wonder Spheres, and hope that you can land your shots. There are 3 around the map. That means you could be spending thousands of points trying to get this. It's a pain in the arse. It doesn't work, let's be honest. We all want a more efficient way of doing it. So I'm going to be showing you a way that you can hit all 3 circles from one jump pad, only buying it once. It does take a little bit of practice to do, might take you a few attempts to get it right, but once you get it down it's pretty easy to remember, and it will have you doing the fireball with ease every time. So you're going to want to head to the Wonder Sphere just above the double tap machine. Once you're there, you want to line yourself up just like I do here. Once you're lined up in the center, you're going to want to stay where you are and look up and to your left, and then you want to line your crosshairs up exactly as I do just here. Once you are lined up, you're going to want to look straight up and then bring it down a couple of notches, and then fire a regular shot of your arrow, wait a couple of seconds, and then purchase the jump pad. You need to make sure you wait a couple of seconds, otherwise the arrow won't make it there in time. And as you can see there, that set alight the first ring. Once you have practiced that and managed to get that first ring down, for the second one that is just at the death ray, you're lining yourself up in the direct center once again, but this time you're looking up towards the sun. Line yourself up just so you can see here, shoot a regular shot once again, and buy the jump pad instantly. The regular shot should make its way up over the wall and land on the circle just before you land. The final circle that you need to hit, arguably the easiest one, just outside of the clock tower. You want to head back to the jump pad just above the double tap machine. You want to charge up your bow this time, purchase the jump pad, and then just fire at the circle before you land. Now that you've lit up all 3 circles, you're on the next part of the quest, which is to collect 12 zombie souls on each of the circles. So all you have to do is stand inside the circle. You can get kills with any weapon, it doesn't have to be the bow, and as long as you're standing in the circle with the fiery flame effect around your screen, as you can see here, you can kill the zombies from anywhere on the map, doesn't matter how far away they are. Once you have collected 12 souls, the ring will send a beam of light towards the sun above the death ray, and now you know that you can continue on to do the next circle. The order in which you fill up the souls does not matter whatsoever. You do not have to do them in the same order that you do in the video, as long as you fill up all 3 rings with 12 souls and they shoot the beam up towards the sun. That's how you know you will have completed this step. As you can see here, I've finished up filling up the souls for the final ring. Once you've completed this step, the next part is to go towards the clock tower once again, directly where you originally picked up the arrow from, and you will be able to hold your interact button, whether that is F, square on PlayStation or X on Xbox, on the cogs that are in the wall, and they should start spinning and they will produce a symbol. This symbol is actually not important. It does represent a fireplace around the map, but you do not need to use the symbols to find it. It is much easier to just remember where to go based on what circle is alight around your map. Once you've held your interact button on the cogs, one of the circles around the map will be lit up with fire. If that circle happens to be the same one that I have in my game here, you're going to want to follow my path. So you want to stand in the circle, make sure you can see the flame around your screen, and you're going to shoot past the gates just like I did here. Once you've done that, you want to stand next to the volcano so that you have flame around your screen again, and then shoot just above the doorway to Samantha's room as you saw just there. And then your final one is standing right at the doorway, making sure once again you have the flames around your screen. And then you're going to shoot into that fireplace that you can see on the wall just there. You will get a free max ammo, and you hold interact on the fireplace. If in your game the circle next to the death ray in the center was lit, you're going to take a different path to a different fireplace, which is in the church. So once again, you stand inside the circle, make sure the edges of your screen are lit, and you're going to want to shoot directly in the middle of the flag that you saw just there on top of the church door. Once you've hit that one, you'll see a volcano once again down by the door, and you're just going to shoot slightly to the left over by the pillar as you saw there, and then your final shot standing next to the volcano again is into the fireplace. Once again, free max ammo and hold interact on the fireplace. And for the final circle, which is just outside the clock tower, you're going to be aiming towards the Wonder Sphere on the other side of the map by the first dragon outside spawn. So your first shot is going to be just to the right side of the death ray ball that you saw just there. Once you've done that, you're going to head over to the volcano, make sure that your screen is lit around, and then you're going to aim close to the wall by that you saw on the other side of the bridge just there. Once you've hit that last one, you're just going to stand next to the final volcano and shoot into this fireplace right there, and once again, free max ammo and hold interact on the fireplace. Once you have picked up your free max ammo and held your interact button on the fireplace, you're going to want to head to the death ray, and you'll notice that the sun has lowered itself down. If you stand next to the sun and hold your interact button on it, it will rise up and explode, and then your arrow will descend down below. Sometimes picking up this arrow can be a little bit glitchy, so standing right next to it doesn't show to pick up the arrow. So to avoid that, you just want to stand on the steps rather than stand right on it, and you will be able to pick up the arrow. Once you've picked up the arrow, just head straight down to the anti-gravity or the pyramid room. Once you're down there, you want to hold your interact button on this box just here, and your arrow will be placed in the box. And now all you have to do is get 20 zombie soul kills in front of the box. As long as they are on the bottom half of the steps, anywhere around the pyramid, the souls will count. Once you have collected enough souls, which is 20 souls for it to fill up, you'll know it's done as the arrow will flash white, you'll hear a sound cue, and you're able to hold your interact button on the arrow once again to place your Wrath of the Ancients bow inside the box, upgrading your Wrath of the Ancients to the fire bow. I hope you found that tutorial useful, guys. Enjoy using your firebow. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. Or join Discord, link will be in the description. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.